I'll show you how I make money trading right now, regardless of whether you want to trade live funded accounts or prop firms. I recently withdrew $400 profit from 2 iFunds accounts, and what surprised me is the fact that I reached the 20% target there much faster. After trading hundreds of trading accounts, I finally found what works consistently. On top of that, I'll break down the exact systems used in these 2 iFunds accounts so you can give it a try. And if you'd like to support me in testing and trading more and more robots to keep seeing all the results publicly on the algo trading space platform, just subscribe to the channel. That is more than enough. Thank you for that. Number 1 is live trading, and that's probably the most popular way to participate on the market. You fund a live account with a forex broker and you start trading with it, no matter if you'll be trading manually or automatically. The most important thing is to trade with a regulated broker, and at the time of recording this video we use Black Bull and IC the most. And once you open your live account, you start trading with a strategy, and in algo trading space we focus on 100% automated trading. So all of these are different trading strategies, and they are 100% executed from a trading robot. For example, the Waka Waka Expert Advisor has been trading for 530 days. It executed over 800 trades, and you will see that it has a very steady performance going upwards. This is a withdrawal I requested some time ago. There are some equity drops from time to time. That's another withdrawal, but overall, if I go to the growth rate in percent, you will see that it is a very steady, profitable expert advisor. I have it on the screen right in here, and I can show you that it is trading 3 currency pairs: the Aussie New Zealand, the Aussie CAD, and the New Zealand CAD. Currently there is an open trade with the Aussie New Zealand, and overall profit in this account is $1,872. The pros when you trade a live account is that you can request the deposit at any moment. You can withdraw the money from your account if you need them. And number 2 is you don't share the profit with anyone. Everything is for you. However, there are some cons, and the most important thing is that there is a lot of scam. Many scam brokers are around, so you have to be careful and always pick a regulated and trusty broker. And number 2 is that people usually don't have the capital to trade with. Not everybody has 3 or 5k or 10k to start live trading with, and this is where option number 2 comes in, and this is funded trading. And in algo trading space we use a couple of funded platforms like trading.com, iFunds, and Darwin X0. They all have different models, but for example with iFunds we purchase the trading capital. For example, if you want to start with a small account, you can purchase 2.5k account for $250. You can purchase a 5k account for $400 or a 10k account for $700. Pretty much you buy this account, and there is just one rule with iFunds that you need to follow, and that's to stay within the max set drawdown. By default it is 10% and you get 50% profit split, or if you are very confident in your strategy that it will stay with a lower drawdown, you can decrease it to 6%, and then your profit split is 80%. But I usually keep it at 10% and 50% profit split. And last year I requested from iFunds couple of $15,000 accounts, and the cost was $1,000 for each. So I'll show you 2 of them. Right in here I have a portfolio of Dark EAs, so I am trading here the Dark Algo on Euro Dollar, and I'm also trading the Dark Titan on New Zealand CAD. And you can see that just a few days ago I requested a withdrawal of $428, so I'm getting 50% of that, or $214. And the other one is right in here, very similar portfolio. So I have the Euro $200 with the Dark Algo. I have the Dark Nova with Aussie Cat, and as well I'm trading the Dark Venus, which is the free expert advisor from the Dark EAs on $Cat. And the withdrawal here was $405, so $200 profit from this account as well. Now pay attention here. For those two accounts, I've spent $2,000. That is my initial investment. Then I have made certain percentage, certain gain, and I've requested $800, or this is $400 for me. That is actually 20% from my initial investment, and this I achieved for about 3 months. I started these accounts at the beginning of December, so it's been December, January and February. So I've made 20% return on my investment just in 3 months time, because purchasing these accounts give me this leverage that I wouldn't have in my life account. Because if I'm making 2 to 3% in my account, in 3 months time I would make 6 to 7% in $1,000 life account, or this is just $60-70, not $200, right? That's the difference between trading iFunds account and a life account. However, there are two cons I have to mention here. Number one is you cannot withdraw the initial investment of $1,000, or the standard is $700 for 10K account. And number two is we split the profit with iFunds, but pretty much that's the cost of having this leverage and these gains in the accounts. And you might be wondering why I'm trading this portfolio of expert advisors in this account. This is because our backtesting showed that when we have the 3 of them together in one account, we have a very reasonable max drawdown. So we use AI to see if the drawdowns happen at the same time and what's the total combined profit, and then we leave as well some safety factor, and at the end we make about 0.7% a month, which is not a lot, but again in 3 months we achieved 20% return on the initial investment, and that is huge. Also, the Dark EAs are very suitable to be combined in portfolios because they trade different currency pairs. Especially the newest Dark Chronos is suitable for multiple currency pairs, and we've already been trading a few of them. And also this vendor provides live track record that is updated and verified on my FX book, which is something we don't really see with most of the vendors. And if you want to combine them in a portfolio, you can use the ones we have on the Algo Trading Space platform or build your own. Just make sure you trade different currency pairs so you don't have bigger exposure on one market, for example the euro dollar, which is a common mistake. And now number 3 is to trade prop firms, which is much harder because even though you have profitable expert advisors, you can't really use them because the prop firms do not allow market expert advisors, third-party EAs. They always say that this is risky for the firm, that many people will execute the same trades, which is not a problem for live trading and funded trading, but for prop firms it turns out to be a problem. That is why we are mostly trading expert advisors that we created ourselves using strategy builders like EAs Studio, FSB Pro, the Express Generator, and we have dedicated an app on the Algo Trading Space called the Prop Firm Robots app, which allows you to export generated expert advisors, and we constantly update them. There is also a randomization option which allows you to randomize the entry, the exit through the option to randomize the indicator value, and as well you can randomize stop loss and take profit, but make sure you don't randomize them too much so you won't change the strategy. And all of these strategies are automatically generated, and then we test them in the out of sample, or we test them virtually. This green zone is the out of sample, and quite often we get really good strategies from here, but we are actually preparing with a team a simpler version. Basically the best of these strategies will be available as a product probably by the end of this month, so stay tuned for that. And as well, we are trading with a few prop firms that allow expert advisors on MetaTrader. And as a pro, we can say that the prop firms are the cheapest option to get funded account, a huge funded account, but there are many cons here. We have overall drawdown, daily drawdown, we have consistency rule, risk per trade, you can't trade same symbol on different accounts, and every prop firm has its own rules, so you have to be very careful not to breach them anyways. It's not that you will not get paid, but you will get banned, as I was from a few prop firms already. However, I don't say don't trade prop firms, I'm just giving you the different options, the pros and cons for live funded and props. Obviously, the best thing is to trade all of it, so you can actually diversify not just with different strategies and robots, but between different types of platforms, live, funded, and prop firms. And before you click on any of the YouTube suggested videos on the side, have a look at this one, because it will teach you how to build a diversified portfolio between different assets and different strategies and expert advisors. This is the right way to trade on the markets. As always, guys, take care, don't forget I love you, and I'll see you at the next video. Bye.